Hey, what's going on, guys? Joe here, coming at you today from Miniguns. We're going to take a look at base types and give you a better explanation. As you look at the map right now, you got 2v2 battles going on right now. I'm going to place yellow arrows pointing at the bases. That way you understand what we're talking about, especially for you new players out there. And then we're also going to discuss 2v2 lessons learned. Myself and my partner O'Malley have been doing a lot of 2v2. We did a 1-hour stream the other night. We'll link that up above for you to check out if you're interested. And anyways, there were some things that were learned as we were playing that we didn't realize or we didn't know, and that also ultimately cost us the matches, a few matches here and there. But anyways, what we're going to do from here is we're going to go out and take a look at our two armies, the Dominion and the Republic, and we're going to talk about the different bases and which ones you might want to run against specific armies. Let's go ahead and get into it, guys. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start on the Dominion side. We're going to take a look at the bases over here since I have all three unlocked. You're all going to probably start out with the standard base right off the bat when the game first starts up. As you will start unlocking minis, you're going to unlock the anti-vehicle base, and then you're also going to unlock the anti-air base on the Dominion side. They're going to be named differently on the Republic side. As we get over to the Republic, we have the Tank Buster base, which is pretty self-explanatory on what it does. And then also you have the Common base, and you have the Turret base. Now, as we jump back over to the Dominion army, we'll take a look at the bases themselves. You're going to start off with the standard base. The standard base itself can engage both ground vehicles and trucks and tanks, but it also can engage aircrafts. The problem with this one is it doesn't do a lot of damage. It only does 185 damage per second, so you're going to have to use this in the beginning as you progress and unlock other minis, but then you're going to have to make a decision on which one you're going to use versus the opposing faction. So as we look at the anti-vehicle base, the anti-vehicle base engages trucks and tanks. As we take a look at what is called the anti-air base, pretty self-explanatory. It will engage trucks, but it also engages aircrafts, both fixed wing and rotary wing. So why am I running the anti-air base in the Dominion army? Well, that's pretty self-explanatory. If you actually look at the Republic army as a whole, there's a lot of aircrafts in the Republic army. As we look at my actual army composition, I'm running the helicopter. I also have the transport helicopter. We also have the jet. We also have the Typhoon. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. The attack helicopter, and then as you get into the legendary Warthog. So as we jump back over to the Dominion side, the Dominion side doesn't have as many aircrafts as the Republic. So you do have the jet, or the Hunter, as most of you would know, and then you also got the rocket copter, and then there's another one that's unlocked later on, but it's not as many as the Republic side. So when you're running the Dominion army, it would probably be a safe bet. If you have the anti-air base unlocked, you might want to run it because it does a lot more damage to aircrafts and engages specifically aircrafts in the event of facing a Republic army that is using a lot of aircrafts, which is most of the time the case. As we jump over to the Republic army, I'm running the Tank Buster base because if you look at the Dominion army is tank heavy opposed to the Republic army. So Republic army is very heavy in the aircrafts. Dominion army has a really good selection of tanks. What I mean by that is you got the Shredder. You also have the Soundwave tank, but that's on the other side as well. It is an epic card. You also have the mini tank. You also have the standard tank, and you have the laser tank, which is a legendary that'll get unlocked later on. So understanding how to read bases and understanding what bases you're actually looking for or looking at, you'll understand how to take on that base. So what we're going to do from here is jump into some actual gameplay. That way you can kind of understand what I mean by identifying what base you're facing against. Okay, so now that we've taken a look at the bases, we should be able to look at the map and identify what bases we're facing against. On the Dominion side, we have the Common base running. On the opposite side, though, the south one is a Tank Buster base. The north one is an anti-air base. So now we understand by sending helicopters and fixed wings down at the top one, it's gonna take them down very easily, like it's doing right now. It's engaging the helicopter. Helicopter gets shot down very easily. And then just on the south one, if you send tanks at it, the tanks are going to be destroyed very easily by that base. So when we get into 2v2 player mode and discussion, you got to be able to have a partner that can complement you, or you can complement them, meaning that you need to understand about the same mindset on what you're trying to achieve. communication is a huge thing. If you're unable to do that and you're unable to read what your opponent's going to do next, it might actually cost you the match. In this case here, we're working on getting the defense set with the artillery piece, trying to get coverage on the location of where the airdrops are placed. We got jets flying overhead, taking down our birds. We have ground infantry rushing in on our artillery piece as our sniper is assisting with getting rid of that. And now we're working on getting in on these airdrops and trying to get the action points required. The Sonic tank is now on the map, and it's going to take down all of our infantry troops. Now it's going to retarget and go after the infantry that's actually facing away, giving our infantrymen there a chance to unlock and get the action points. So take note of the attack helicopter and the balloon that's being placed. The balloon is being placed strategically in order to sit above that turret and take care of tanks, but the jet's going to shoot it down. Now we're going to send a couple of tanks. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the overhead view here. We're going to send a few tanks. We got the main battle tank and the shredder going after the anti-air base. Look how much damage is being done to the anti-air base while the tank is being destroyed by the other tank. And at this point, we got airdrops coming back on the map, and we're sending trucks down. So trucks are really good for speed. Like, they're really fast, but they're very weak. I mean, it's pretty obvious that sending a truck against a tank is probably not the best idea. And they are also very weak against the artillery pieces as well. So at this point, they got a Typhoon on the map. And as we look down at the actual bases themselves, the air is able to take care of the tank buster base, while the anti-air base is able to shoot down the air assets there in the fixed wing, or not the fixed wing, but the rotary wing there and the balloon. So now all we have left is the anti-aircraft base, and we got a couple of trucks that we're going to rush in and overpower this base and set of troops before actually going into sudden death. Trucks will overwhelm and take down that base, and we will win the match. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to take a look at one more replay at some lessons learned. Very important lesson learned that we did not know. I just got to go find the replay, guys. Alright, so we're going to finish up this video with one more 2v2 replay and a major lesson learned that we did not know when we first started doing 2v2s. We were pretty much dominating in the early stages of playing 2v2, but what we didn't realize is that if your opponent loses a base, if a base is overrun, their action points generation is going to slow way down to the point where they can't even help counter anything. They can't really drop anything unless you're able to secure an airdrop. So what's happening right now is we have a few helicopters on the map. They're engaging one of our turrets. The turrets are fine. They can fall, but when one of the bases falls is when the generation of action points goes next to none, and you're unable to really help your teammates. So at this point, we have a Chinook coming down, and they're going to go directly into 2 air trucks. We also have a machine gunist and a couple of infantrymen up top guarding the spawn points for the artillery drops. We have a howitzer on the map, and we're just getting really overrun with the amount of tank and air support from the Republic side. So at this point, O'Malley's base is getting targeted by a tank and some infantry, and will actually in fact fall. So it's going to diminish his action points regeneration, and so he's not going to really be able to assist me at all. It's going to be just all me at this point, and I'm trying to really decide how I'm going to counter both the air and the tank at the same time. Also, the fact that there's multiple howitzers being placed, and so there's a helicopter, and then I had an attack helicopter on the map trying to really get something going here. But just the amount of generation of action points on the opposite side opposed to my side, O'Malley's not really able to help me at all, and so it ends up going to the point where I'm basically on my own, hoping that he can drop something that's going to actually assist. And what ends up happening in this match is we're going to get completely overrun by our enemies here, and it was just a really tough lesson to learn in the fact that losing a base is probably one of the worst things that could happen in a 2v2 match. So hopefully you are able to get something out of this video, guys. There's a lot of material. Drop some comments below if there's some more things that you need to know or you just don't quite understand yet. We're going to continue to produce miniguns content on this channel, guys. Smash that like button, share the content, get hype or get wrecked, and thanks for watching, guys.